Tonight, Christina Carswell hosts an all-new episode of The Lounge. The following program may contain mature material some viewers may not find suitable. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's The Lounge with Christina Carswell. Tonight, Christina welcomes Alex, also known as Axel, from the channel Swathed, Sarah from the channel Lyra Kylaren, and Sean, a professional QA video game tester. And now, here's your host, Christina Carswell.
Hey guys, what's up? It is Christina. Welcome back to the lounge. I'm here with Axel.
Yo.
Sarah.
Yo.
And Sean.
Nah.
Welcome back to our lovely homes.
No, you.
Homes.
We're in a lounge.
Thank you. Lounge, yes. Welcome to our lounge. Take a seat.
Well, I mean,
relax.
it might not be existing for much longer if glorious leader Trump has anything to say about it.
It's okay. We're north of the wall. It's fine. We're wildlings.
Because then we have all of the people running into Canada, and I don't want more people running in this goddamn country.
This room's gonna get very crowded.
Yeah, it's going to.
Well, I don't know. As a snow Mexican,
Yes.
I highly encourage all of our sand Canadian friends to come visit us.
Yes, come visit.
They
See how it's like.
They can come, all of the people, like, I don't know, I say this, but at the same time, I'm actually, like, if you actually follow what Trump has been doing since the election,
Yeah.
super interesting.
The look on his face
Weird.
in some of those interviews, it's like, holy shit, what have I gotten myself
Yeah,
into?
exactly.
He's gotten way over his head. This was a joke that went too far.
No,
Yeah.
it was a policy stunt that now he realizes he's in the big times, because if he can be a good president for 4 years, you know what that'll fucking look like?
That's gonna be so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, looking at his policies right now that have come out, especially with his new thing that he just released today about his
What I'm scared of is the people that he wants on his cabinet.
Oh yeah,
Fucking Sarah Palin?
Yeah, Sarah
Whatever her
Palin.
name is. Fucking
Really?
I'm more scared of Mike Pence than I am.
Yeah.
of Trump.
Oh my god.
Mike Pence is. But see, I understand why he picked Mike Pence. It was life insurance against the Republicans. They couldn't completely veto him if he took the most right-winged Republican he could get his hands on. So he grabbed Mike Pence for life insurance as a VP. Now he's actually vice president-elect, and people are like, oh shit, Pence is in office.
Oh my god,
Like,
if Trump dies, Pence is fucking president.
See, but that's what a lot of people were talking about. It's like, oh, let's impeach Trump. All right, so impeach Trump. We'll just have Pence then.
Yeah, no thanks.
Ultimately giving the finger to everyone while walking out with immunity.
This is super interesting.
Yeah.
So interesting to me because Trump, okay, right-wing mainstream media will complain as much as they want about Trump. You can label him a racist, you can label him a misogynist, you can label him sexist, whatever. He's president now, or will be president. He gonna be in the White House, and people have to realize that they can't just keep calling him. The labels did nothing. It did nothing
they just
to
helped
squash
him.
It did, because it fueled it.
He's an underdog. Everyone loves a fucking underdog.
It wasn't an underdog. Him and Bernie Sanders were images of change. They both bucked the establishment system in both parties.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Bernie got squashed by Hillary because of, you can complain about how corrupt the Democratic Party is. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But Trump was a surprise victory for the Republicans. Even though they like people think like they're like, oh shit, Republicans have the House, they have the Senate, they have all three branches right now.
It doesn't mean that all the Republicans are going to side with Trump, though. Just because they're Republican doesn't mean they're going to vote with him.
Exactly, because a lot of them were against Trump, but Trump was a registered Democrat until like easily 2014.
Yeah.
Maybe a little earlier. I could have my
that came
dates
up during the election.
He was a registered Democrat. He's a businessman. He wants everything that the Democrats want. They want left, like, it's, he always sided with it. I mean, if you look at interviews from like 2006, 2008, especially 2008 when Obama started getting elected, yes, he kind of fucked himself over with the birther movement.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump is through and through a Democrat. Like, he always will be. And he is the most Democratic Republican to ever be elected.
That's scary.
No, it's not. It's because he's turning the party inside out. The problem with this election and the environment that it caused the United States was you now had both political parties having their own issues with image and their own sort of small revolution inside of it, because they realized that people were now sick of those two candidates that, or even those two parties, that they wanted a different change. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately Bernie got squashed. I mean, that was their biggest mistake.
Yeah, if Bernie was still in the running against Trump, I think Bernie would have won out.
Whole different story. Whole absolutely 100% down. Whole different story. Whether to say Trump would beat Bernie or Bernie would beat Trump, it would be a lot better of a race.
Yeah, it would have been closer.
Considering how the biggest and most unreported fact about this whole election is that 46.1 or something % of the people didn't even fucking vote.
That's scary.
Which means, and people are saying that, oh, it was so 50-50 split between Trump and Clinton. It's like, it was for half of the people, and the other half did nothing. Like,
either they didn't vote or they didn't have time to vote because it's not considered a holiday, so people can't get off time from work.
Exactly.
Like, I
watched
all the fucking shows about it.
There's a bunch of reasons why that number is so high, but it's also it also shows what the fuck is going on in that country, because half the people just said, fuck it, I don't want either.
Shit. What's really scary is not just like what's happening in the States, what's happening outside of the States because of this. Like, you heard stuff from Russia, from Turkestan, like all over the all over the planet, there are people like kind of weighing in on like, well, if Trump becomes president, this, and this.
Well, the U.S. is the major global power. Like, you can't deny that. Whether it's military presence, whether it's, like, half the world, it basically runs based off of the American dollar anyways, because America does so much trading with everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they're a big fucking country. They got a lot of people.
Well, they have a lot of people. Like, that's the problem. We should take Washington, Oregon, California, and Nevada. We'll just take the whole West Coast. That'll become Canada. We can make it one big province like fucking Quebec, or we can make it a bunch of different provinces. But we'll take that side of America. But
that's not going to solve the U.S.'s problems, because if everyone of one party leaves, then it's just going to leave all the people thinking one way in that country.
No. Those provinces... those states. Those states.
You already started.
Oh, yeah.
No, see, I've been reading up on this. So, like, after the election, there was a letter written by...
well, didn't, like, California want to, like, separate?
They wanted to secede, but this is a letter... This is a letter from the guy... from a guy from Beaverton, Oregon, who wrote, "Dear Canada, we, the fine people of Washington, Oregon, and California, wish to secede. We offer our people, our land, and our resources to you. Oh, Canada, we promise not to fight this, but instead to fight for this. Although, you being, Canadians, we're confident in a polite transition as we become your fourth territory, Wash for Nornia."
I'm okay with this.
Who wrote this?
Wait. Or Callerington. We're fine with either. Just please take us, pretty please, with great love and respect, the Western former United States.
Oh my god, I want this so bad. Please, can we have a territory within the States? Can we?
Because of that letter, there have been actual discussions, and this is an article on ThinkPaul.
Oh boy.
It's just a funny story that it's just like, people from both sides of the fence are like, yeah, no.
Yeah, sure, come. Welcome to Canada.
I want the great territory of Washfornornia.
Yeah, I do. That'd be a great vacation spot.
Oh, it's Washorfornia. Washorfornia. I like Callerington.
I like Callerington too. Either one would be good. I'm okay with both. But having a place in Cali would be nice.
Yeah, we could visit LA without having a passport.
Well, we would still have to have a passport. We would just have to pass the border. They'd put up a wall around it.
No. Instead of flying across, we'd fly to BC and then fly south.
Yeah.
That would feel very ominous going out there and seeing a giant wall kind of wrapped around. It's like, what's that? Oh, it's to keep out the zombies.
Ask the people of Berlin that.
Oh boy.
Oh,
yeah.
That got deep.
That got real dark real fast.
Have a wall in the middle of your city? Ask Berlin. I don't know.
That wasn't a problem at all. Not even in the slightest. Oh, fucking global superpowers just fucking turning on their head overnight. God damn.
Yep.
Were you guys up during the late night, watching the polls?
Oh, I was glued to it.
I could not step away.
I was watching it. It's American politics is a big hobby of mine. So I was really invested in this. But at the same time,
we're more invested in their politics than our own.
True.
What does that say?
I'm invested in Canadian politics a lot.
Yeah, but I've never glued my eyes to a fucking television screen to watch an election. I'd just be like, I'll pay attention to it in the morning.
Here's the thing. Canadian media doesn't make it a circus.
Yeah.
We have we have conservative media and fucking liberal media
NDP,
here.
Liberal, green.
I'm just talking about media coverage of it, right?
Yeah, but there are different newspapers that are NDP, liberal, conservatives, more green based. There's a wide spectrum. There's not just one or the other.
Fair enough. But what I'm saying is that we have our own, basically the same thing they have there, but our election process is 78 days, and that's a long one.
Yeah.
Canada can collectively get our shit together for at least a 2-month period to figure shit out, and then we'll go back to our province.
Yeah. But I like our election system better than the electoral sorry.
The electoral
Carl.
The electoral college.
Yeah.
The electoral college makes sense. It does. It does. Unfortunately,
but the residings that they are in are fucking biased as fuck.
I offer you the counterpoint to people who complain about the electoral college. There have only been 4. Count them 4 presidents in all 45 elections.
Yeah, 5 now.
4. Trump was 4th. It was Bush. It was 2 guys. I forget who they were, but it was 2 guys in the 1800s, one in the early 1900s, I think, and then Bush Trump.
Okay.
So
where something was rigged, or
no 45. No, where the popular vote was outweighed by the electoral college.
Yeah.
There have only been 4 times in American election history that's happened.
That's kind of cool.
So there have been 45 elections.
Yes.
So having pretty much a less than 10% chance of that have ever happening across history, not to say it might not happen again, but across history, less than 10% is a pretty decent track record for a system that deals with 350 million people.
Yeah.
Also,
you're right. I just double checked. It is
the Electoral College also protects the small rural countries which make up the most of America.
Yeah, no, I understand why it's like that.
Yeah,
but
so
the ridings are where it can kind of get muggy.
That's where you get into an issue of gerrymandering.
Yeah.
But if you look at Canada, first past the post doesn't work either.
Yeah.
It's weird.
We have our own issues. We're not perfect either.
Oh yeah, no, we got our own issues up here. And I mean, the Liberal government right now is trying to work on that.
Yeah, because like we need a better system. Like it's out of date. We need a better one.
Exactly. So I mean, like this is just going to be a wake up call for most of Americans who don't care about politics. And this election showed 46% of them didn't care.
Yeah. If you didn't vote and you have a problem with what happened, I'm sorry, but you don't really have a say. If you voted, you would have cared.
Yeah,
To be fair, when a situation like this arises, is your system really broken, or is it just the people?
What when you're dealing with voter apathy?
Yeah. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, like, what's this about our system being broken?
Well,
Right.
no, Canada just has we have an inefficient system.
What makes it inefficient?
It's because it takes too fucking long.
No, first past the post rewards someone for hitting a certain milestone. Where because we have a multiple party system, technically for a party to be elected, of all the votes, someone would then need out of 3 parties. Don't forget, in Canada we technically have five possible parties.
Yeah.
6 if the Rhino Party ever comes back. Fuck yeah, I want them to come back. They promised to do nothing. Their whole platform was they're like, if elected, we will do nothing. It's like, I can vote for those guys. They speak the truth.
And then they do something. Well, horrible monsters.
Oh god.
Then they solve cancer, and we're just like, shit, you said you would do nothing, but you solved cancer.
God damn, this is a dilemma.
But anyways, so first past the post, let's just look at the 3 major parties, okay?
Which is Conservatives, Liberals, and NDP.
Yeah. So, first past the post says, for the majority vote in a 3-party system, 33.333 repeating technically has to go to one of the parties to be elected, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And because of Canada's landmass, we have an even bigger problem than the Electoral College, where a lot of rural Canada doesn't really get affected because Canada's system kind of
It favors bigger city.
No. Because ours is based on MP ridings, and then the vote for the MP in our local system gets tallied towards that party.
Yeah.
It's not like we didn't elect Justin Trudeau.
He was just leader of the party.
We elected our MP in our neighborhood of our city because Ottawa had like 8 MPs alone.
Yeah.
So, or 8, actually, I think we have like 10 ridings, whatever.
Well, the basic version of it for people who don't really know our system, basically, we have an election, we tally up all the ridings, whichever party had the most ridings, their leader pretty much becomes prime minister.
Yeah.
That's the really basic version of it.
But the issue with first past the post is, so let's say, whatever, the Liberal Party needs 33.3, whatever party needs 33.3% to win, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least to have, quote unquote, a majority. They have to have over that, because then there's no way that the other 2 parties can win.
Yeah.
So after a certain point, let's say 20%, like I don't know the actual math.
Unfortunately.
Let's say, well, I just don't have enough time to look.
Yeah, no, just do basics.
Anyways,
Basics
so,
is good enough.
Just general ballparking. This isn't exactly like direct. Let's say, mathematically speaking, then let's say the Conservatives have 10% while the votes are being tallied.
Yeah.
If let's say the Liberals are at 20%, the Conservatives are at 10%, and the NDP is at 9%. Right? It's a close race for opposition.
Yeah.
That's 39% of the vote already. I think it's after. I think it's like 60. Yeah, it's after 66% of the votes have been tallied. There's a certain marker where, the Liberals can win with 32% because, like let's say the other, like the Conservatives get 30%. The NDP get another 30%, and then 2% goes to the Green Party.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever, like figure out the fractions and the math. It's because we have so many parties that there is only a certain amount of percentage of votes that could possibly go to a single party.
Mm-hmm.
And because we have that, we also have it causes an issue where, let's say, a city like Ottawa, for some reason, every single conservative MP in the city does a bang-up job. Everybody in every district decides to vote for a conservative MP.
Yeah.
The votes that Ottawa would have would outweigh, like, PEI.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
it swings it in certain ways where certain parties can never come back. So, as long as you can pass a certain amount of threshold, there's a certain way that, like, no way can come back.
Right.
Like, or it's already fucking, like, done. There's no point in counting the rest of the votes. Like, there's no way someone can win. Okay. So we get our own like,
we have our own issues.
There's been discussions about proportional representation and stuff like that, and that's something that definitely the government has to consider when figuring all this shit out, because you can't just introduce a new voting system to all the generations who have been voting for years before. Yeah. Right? You have to make it in a way that they can understand how things are going to work from now on.
Yeah.
So...
Well, pretty much, like, Canada, even though we do have, like, registered multiple parties, it's pretty much always down to the Liberals or Conservatives, because NDP's never held office.
Well, think...
Neither is the Green.
They almost did, though.
Almost.
They almost did.
Yeah, that's when
didn't.
Liberals kind of just shot the boat and ended up sinking themselves.
Well, there was a lot of, like, scandals and, like, the whole Paul Martin thing, and... But anyways, that's how we ended up with Harper. But anyways, yeah, so, like, we have our own issues. Like, there's no perfect democratic system that has been created so far. The Electoral College is just a way that they made things work back then, and I don't agree that they should abolish it, but I probably think that they should give more states certain votes.
Well, not just certain votes. I think they just need to look at their system and try to find a better way. It might not be, like, to abolish it, but maybe just amendment would work.
Well, that's what I mean. They just need to edit how the Electoral College actually fucking works.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so just something else I'm hearing as a bit of a theme here.
Okay.
You know, we're talking about how Ottawa has a higher weighting than, say, PEI.
Yeah, well, we have more people.
I was like pulling that out of my ass. Like,
yeah, but I mean, it's also
Ottawa
true.
Alone is pretty much the population of PEI.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that about Toronto then. Whatever, we'll use Toronto. It's a bigger city.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this and thinking that if an area has a higher weighting because it's got a higher population or just more things managing the area, right, it kind of makes more sense that they would have the louder voice as opposed to the fringe areas that aren't part of the core areas.
And that is generally how things work. Mm-hmm. And that's how proportional representation by population works. Mm-hmm. And that's how the Americans...
Wow, we definitely have more than PEI. Holy fuck. 146,283.
To what? Like, Ottawa's like...
That's just how many people live in PEI.
Yeah, and then, like, in Ottawa alone, there's, like, roughly 1 million.
Ottawa, there's, like, 8 times that.
Well, last time the population count was, we were at, like, 900,000, and that was in, like, 2012.
In 2011, we were 883,391.
900,000 with rounding.
And the 146 from PEI was from 2014. So that's like, what, 2 years ago. Yeah, and the last one for Ottawa was like 2011. So there's been a difference. Yes,
my point still stands. So my point still stands. Anyway, so like, the difference is that is how it works in a proportional representation scale. Mm-hmm. Canada, with our first past the post, the inner city problems, like the shit that people have to deal with in Toronto with like transportation and housing and real estate and crime and all that shit, doesn't compare to someone from even Ottawa. Doesn't compare to does it compare to someone from North Bay? Does it compare to someone who's in fucking Montreal? Does it compare to someone who's in Medicine Hat? Like no, but this is the serious problem. This is like and that was a big thing that people brought up with the American election is the liberals of New York don't care about the farmers in Colorado, and the farmers in Colorado
or the factory workers of Michigan.
Exactly. Yeah. So like it's this delicate balance of where you have to figure out, well, where does everyone get a proper vote and a proper say, but even in Ottawa, people have to deal with different shit in Orleans than they have to deal with in Canada. So of course they're going to elect a different MP who works for their neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the first things I did when I moved to this end of the city was figure out who the MP was.
Well, that's two ways of like voting for in Canada is usually you either vote for your riding or you vote strategically for the party. You really do one or the other. And it's kind of hard to do both because not always is the person that is good for your neighborhood the one that is part of the party that you identify with.
And I agree with that, but the issue in that lies is that strategic voting
well, it defeats the purpose.
It does defeat the purpose because then you're like, well, my vote doesn't actually count because now I have to vote for this person.
Yeah,
right.
And that person can make your community worse.
It's not even a matter of lesser of two evils. It's I literally have to vote for this person, or the other person wins. Right.
Unfortunately, I had to do that when Harper was getting kicked out of office.
Oh,
because I didn't want Harper to stay in because I was like, fuck it.
Yeah. Nobody wanted Harper. He was our George Bush. Except less charismatically stupid.
Oh my god, he looked like a children murderer. Like seriously, that smile creeps me out still.
He looked like the old pharmacist in those movies where they're like, "You want to buy these drugs?" You know?
Hello, Timmy.
You know, or he's that like creepy librarian.
Yeah, he definitely had a creepy librarian feel.
You know, and he tried.
God, it looked like he had no soul.
See, but that's the problem with politicians today. Is that like everyone either seems so robotic and cold, or they seem to be putting on a facade of having personality. You know, you get the occasional people who drip through, like Jack Layton. Jack Layton.
Oh my god,
awesome.
Jack Layton was amazing.
Jack Layton was great. I like Justin Trudeau. He's got the charisma. He's got the, personality. I'm just going to let him give more time in office and see what he does.
He's got the right ideas. Whether or not he could actually implement them in politics,
yeah.
That's the trying part. That
you look at American politics, though, and American politics, with a few key exceptions, have always been the most charismatic people.
Yeah.
Ever. You can't deny that Trump doesn't have charisma in some way.
No, he's definitely a showboater. That's probably one of the reasons why he got elected. Was because he was a showboater.
Obama was chill as fuck.
Yeah, everyone wanted to show fucking president.
You know, like Obama was awesome. George Bush, as much as he was dumb,
he was entertaining.
He was that kind of like redneck who tried to do a lot of things and, kind of missed the point, but he was trying. Yeah. And then, but at the same time, he was a total idiot. So like, we're just like, oh god, he's driving the bus. And you even go back, like Clinton had, it's Bill
saxophone.
Clinton. Hey, that depends on what your definition of is. Like Bill Clinton was, he had charisma. You can't deny it. I mean, like, how else could you get a Jewish girl to blow you in office?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Monica Lewinsky. Shit.
You're not that young.
Even Republicans. Nixon had kind of this weird charisma. Reagan was an actor.
Not a crook.
Like Canada. Oh, we had John Chrétien. What did he do? Well, he choked out a press guy, and he
got pied in the face.
He got pied in the face, and he survived a stroke.
Yeah.
So, like, hey, you got to give it to Jean Chrétien. Like, love or hate the guy, he, did a lot of good.
He was awesome. I love Chrétien, even though he fucking corrupt as fuck.
Depending on your point of view.
Depending on your point of view, like siphoning off money from the government, that corrupt stuff. Yeah. Okay, well, I think we've talked enough about politics for one day. It's like, what, the third or fourth episode we've been talking about this kind of
The
stuff?
fifth now, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Well, we've
depressing.
got a little bit more into the Canadian side of things. Like, here's how our fucking system works and what we have issues with. And
Yeah, but ours isn't perfect, and they shouldn't adopt ours because it doesn't work for the States.
yeah, no,
It
not
doesn't
work for
even
the
really
States, whatever.
work in Canada.
We're trying. It's okay. We're doing our best shot. That's all you can ask for.
I mean,
Okay.
you know, they're only calling us cute when we said that we had our longest election period yet.
Okay, so that's all the time we got for today. Be sure to follow us on social media at TOONDISE on Facebook and with the hashtag ToonLounge on Twitter. And if you're a fan of TOONDISE, make sure to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/ToonDice. And on behalf of Axel, Sean, Sarah, and myself, Christina, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
It's the
Right here
goddamn Trump-pocalypse!
on the lounge.